Welcome everyone to the Breathing Earth Qigong video, Zoom, virtual class. Glad you came, glad you joined in. Just so you know, this class will be continuing through the Taiji Center every Monday night from 6 to 7. And it will be available also on YouTube at any time after that, as are the previous classes in this series. So I want to begin just with a brief explanation. Tonight we're going to explore movement and stillness, or what the Taoists call moving in stillness, or stillness in movement. And so these are yin and yangs of reality. And at the same time, we tend to live our lives in movement. Movement has to do with space and time and form, something that's moving. So we move through time and we move in space, we move our bodies. The mind moves through time with thinking. So on this spiritual path, we will be moving through postures, movements, and Qigong exercises from the world of forms and space-time, which we normally inhabit, into the world of stillness or formlessness, or the energy world, the Qi world. The reason for this is because in attaining liberation, we need to let go of our conditioning, of our attachment to forms, whether they're physical forms or mental forms, so that we can dissolve and become one with the universal life force energy, or what the Buddhists call the unconditioned. Once we have a sense of that, touch into it, and realize that the self is only a product of the world of forms, then we can bring this expanded consciousness or awakening into our moment-to-moment life. And this is in fact what we do all the time. Things are always arising and lingering and passing away because this world of forms is impermanent. And because everything arises with its opposite, impermanence also arises not with permanence, but with the unconditioned, or the awakened nature. So in order to discover this for ourselves, in order to embody it, experience it, and merge with it, we will use Breathing Earth Qigong forms, movements, and meditations. So first, let's take a moment to bow to the practice, bow to the ancestors, and bow to our awakened nature. Now we'll bow to the 7 directions: north, south, east, west, up, down, and within. So if you would please turn to the direction that for you is north. We'll bow to the north. And turning to the right, bow to the east. And turning to the right, to the south. To the west. And then once again, bowing to the center. Above, below, within. Now let's begin with a few minutes of Trembling Mountain. While doing this practice, let's focus our attention on the vertical axis of the body, with which we're familiar, the connection from the center of the earth up through the body, out the top of the head, and infinitely up into the night sky. And we're very aware of the body moving externally, sensations, and also with inside the body, the organs moving, muscles moving. And we're at the same time, we're aware of this stillness, this vertical column of light connecting earth, heaven, and human. And likewise with the breath, we're aware of the in-breath, and then the stillness, and the out-breath, and then the stillness. Okay, let's increase the intensity. And on the count of 3, we'll stop together. 1, 2, 3. Stillness and sensing the very, very rapid, pixelated sensations in the body. The body is still, but internally it's moving. Just noticing the sensations in the body. Aware of the vertical column of light. And with the out breath, radiating out. With the in breath, concentrating within. And with the out breath, let the felt contours of the body expand in all directions. The in breath, be aware of the sensations of this still physical body. This expanded body, this sense of a large body that's more permeable, is a doorway into the unconditioned, into awareness. Let that remain. Now let's go ahead and do 3 back washes with 3 tree and spring. Now we'll go into a series of standing postures, and I'll talk a little bit through the first one, and then we'll continue in silence. So I'll talk through the first and second one. So the first one, standing position 1, the palms are facing each other. There's a little bend in the elbow, a little space under the arm, so that the arms are forming something like an oval. And allow your breaths to get longer and slower. And it's good to do a breath practice, such as breathing the stars. So we're breathing in through the pores of the skin from all directions, lighting up the torso with the in-breath. And we're breathing out in all directions, creating a field of light around the body. If you like, you can imagine the body in space and breathing in all the stars from all directions. This is classic. Lighting up the body with starlight, and the universe is dark. And the out breath, the stars all move out to their places, and the body is dark. Okay, dipping the knees, come up to embracing the tree. It's as if holding a crescent moon. This is standing position 2. If you like, continue the breathing the stars or a similar practice. The vertical axis is present. Column of light, awareness of the heaviness of the earth, the materiality of the body, the lightness of the sky and the starlight, the vastness of the universe, and the body which commingles these two forces. If you start to feel a little bit of tension in the shoulders or anywhere, that's okay. Just be with it. Let go of ideas about it. Just notice that it's there. Continue to breathe, expanding the limits of the body. So the felt sense of the form of the body expands with the out-breath. Relax the muscles. If thoughts arise, just gently bring the attention back to the felt sense of the body and the breath practice. You're aware of the stillness of the posture, the movement of the breath. The movement in the mind with the breath practice. And dipping the knees again. Move up to standing 3. Window to the moon. We're focusing the light into the forehead and into the body. Radiating out in all directions. And maybe just for a moment, the body feels very large and very permeable. If you use your eyes to look up, either out between the hands, or if your eyes are closed, looking up through the crown of the head. These standing postures move upward. And dipping the knees again. And in this one, the hands are facing more up, focusing more on the crown of the head. A little bit of discomfort just focuses the mind. With this one, if you like, you can breathe in through the top of the head, into the body, and then out through the top of the head, or in through the top of the head and out the bottoms of the feet. Any combination. Let's relax. With the next out breath, shoot the attention up the center of the body, out the crown of the head, and up vertically as high as you can. So that you're still connected to this standing body through the column of light. Still aware of the standing body, and aware also the body is very, very big. Takes up the whole universe. Okay, for the next in-breath, bring the attention back to the chest, belly. Radiate out with the out-breath. And then dipping the knees, send the hands out. Standing position 5. Focusing on the space between the out-breath and the in-breath. Resting in that space, letting the next in-breath come by itself. Focusing on the space of the mind. If thoughts appear, those are forms. And focus on the space of the mind, just like the blue sky. The thoughts are like occasional clouds. Let the wind of the breath clear the field of the sky, space. Fill the whole body with luminous blue light of the sky. Body and mind are filled with the same blue. Now let's go into flying crane. In breath, out breath. Now just touch into this felt sense of stillness. In the midst of the body, there is space. In the midst of the mind, there is space. In the midst of the comings and goings of life, there is timelessness. We have a felt sense of this body standing. And let's go deeper into what it is that it's felt. What is it that is felt? What is the feeler made of? What is at the heart of this stillness? And now let's go into this movement, turning the body to look at the moon. Start slowly. There's movement and there's stillness. Moving in the space of this room. We're aware of our movements in the space of this mind. We're aware of this mind and this body with a timeless awareness. And reduce the movements. If thoughts are moving in the mind, it's just like blood moving in the veins or air moving in the lungs. Drop into the awareness of the body and of the mind. This is the expanded body, the expanded space, and this expanded moment. So let's go ahead and bring up our stool. You can, if you like, use the Lan Fa mudra placed on your legs. And let's practice moving in stillness. The body is still. And with the mind, let's re-embody or remember. Flying crane or turning the body to look at the moon. Or tree in spring, any of the movements we've done. To use the breath and imagination to feel as if you're doing the movement again right now. Your physical body is still. The chi body is moving. In the space of the mind. And now let's focus not just on the physical body, not just on the chi body, on the space in which it is all arising. You can do this, the space all around the body, the sense of this expanded body. It's much bigger, it's very big. The movement of the chi body, the movement of the breath, all the movements occur within this vast, expanded body. The energy that is taking all these different forms is beyond space and time. Expand the field with the out breath. until there is only light. For a moment, the light vanishes and there is only darkness, which gives birth to the light. The light gives birth to seeing and feeling, all the senses, which give birth to movement, which give birth to the sitting physical body. And we live in the world of impermanence in space and time. And at the same time, there is that which has never changed. The unconditioned. Movement and stillness arise from this, in breath and out breath, birth and death, coming and going, space and time, all arise out of the Tao. Let's take a few more breaths. Move your toes a little and your fingers. Return completely, leaving nothing aside. And now let's together do the removing glasses movement. We'll clap our hands together one time. Make heat. Place the heels of the hands on the eye sockets. Make circles. Comb back the hair. Tug on the ears. Make loose fists. Tap the kidneys. And massage the kidneys. Thank you for joining. Please remember that you practice not just for yourself, but for those you love and those you've never met. And for some of you, the body may be a major Dharma door for understanding and embodying the teachings of the Buddha. that's what Breathing Earth Qigong is for. So thank you again, and we'll see you next week.